I don't understand why my kids have anxiety.
Kids have anxiety because they're not prepared for life. So the type of anxiety they have tells us exactly what we need to teach them. So let's talk about it. Anxiety is one of the easiest things to fix out there. If we understand, number one, where it is coming from, and number two, what we need to do. Most people want to cope and manage with it. And unfortunately, this can explode at any time in form of anger, or it can turn into depression because there is so much that you can do when you're trying to fight with the ocean. Best thing to do is to learn how to surf with the ocean. It's scary at the beginning. It takes a little bit of work, but then you don't have to fight with it. A fight you're not going to win. So when you fight with anxiety, when you try to cope with it, when you try to manage it, it's like fighting against yourself. So who's going to win? You or yourself? Which side of it? This is why it's important to get rid of it. And there are specific strategies to do that. The first strategy to do this is by learning the lesson of life you're missing. With children, specifically, because you can see them more and more at younger and younger kids, by the way, they have some kind of type of anxiety, which means that part of life, they haven't mastered it. So we need to teach them those lessons. Imagine that you have to solve a very complicated math problem. So somebody comes and brings you a math problem in front of you, but you forgot a lot of math. You forgot how to do the division, how to move exponents, how to change unknowns. You forgot a lot of math. Of course, you're going to get anxiety looking at it. But what if somebody takes the time to explain it piece by piece by piece, exactly what you forgot, to solidify the next time you see the same math problem, you said, oh, I got it. And maybe you didn't get it immediately, but by practicing it, now you're going to start loving these type of math problems because you know them. It's exactly the same thing with the children. Once we teach them the right lessons in life, exactly what they're missing, then they start, oh, this is not so complicated. There is no anxiety about it. For example, if a child has social anxiety, it's easy to teach them that there are 4 types of men, 4 types of women in the world, and to explain to them how every archetype thinks, feels, acts, and reacts in different circumstances. Now, they don't project of how another person supposed to think, feel, act, and react, and they're not afraid of them either, because they know exactly the parts of the equation that will solve their math problem. A second thing that I want to tell you is that a lot of times this comes from the family because during generations, somebody else in the family has been missing exactly the same skills. So the easiest way to do is relearning those skills or learning it in a proper way so everybody can come out of any kind of anxiety. For that, we have separate programs at Anti-Depression Institute, depending on what kind of anxiety it hits, either to teach kids how life truly works or to have a complete transformation into Teenager Transformational Formula, where they learn every single equation of life, so they're not afraid, period, from now on. For any other questions to your challenge, get an answer for free at mychallengeis.org.